What's up guys, and welcome back. Jason here with another car review, and for the past week I've been driving this 2022 Audi Q3 S-Line with all the packages, the tech, the sport, the stereo, the 20-inch wheels, all of it, pretty much fully loaded. And for 48 grand, I think it's an excellent value if you're looking for an entry-level compact SUV from one of the big three German luxury manufacturers. So today, let me take you around. I'm gonna take you for a drive. I'll show you the exterior, go through the interior, tell you some things I loved, tell you some things I didn't, and ultimately help you decide if it's worth spending your $48,000 on. So let's go for it. Okay, so starting off with the 2022 Audi Q3 S-Line with the tech package, sport package, and an even upgraded wheel package, which gets you these amazing looking 20-inch wheels. Let's take it out and go for a drive. All right, so shifting it into drive, let's flip a little U-turn here. So a couple things that I've been really happy about with the Audi Q3. The first thing is the fuel economy. It's really impressive. And yeah, I've had this on the freeway a lot, but even with that, I've still been averaging just about 30 miles to the gallon, coming from this little 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, which I know Volkswagen uses like in everything besides maybe Lamborghini. You like my shirt? But it gets really excellent gas mileage. This isn't like a super small vehicle, but by today's standards it is. And it sits up a little higher, you know, it's a little SUV, but it's get great gas mileage, all while providing a good amount of torque, good amount of power, and it's, you know, it's pretty fun. The 228 horsepower is good. I think this is the same engine that comes out of the GTI, which GTI is always fun to drive. It's probably a little more fun to drive than this, but this is a good time nonetheless, and you're gonna get excellent fuel economy. Again, just about 30. On some drives home, I've been averaging 32, 33 miles to the gallon, which is pretty impressive. I mean, especially today while gas is so expensive. So well done, Audi, on your fuel economy in the Q3. Another thing that I've really enjoyed here in the Q3 is the interior. It's really interesting to look at. It feels very modern, feels very nice, feels like luxurious. And I wouldn't say it's like a super luxurious vehicle, but it feels high quality. It's got a nice quality feeling to it. I especially love these seats. They're wonderful. Like seriously, so well bolstered. Really nice to sit in. They're very adjustable, power adjustable. I love that I can extend this, kind of like with the BMWs and Mercedes. They all do it, but I love it when you can extend the bottom cushion to give you more thigh support. It just makes it so comfortable. You can just sit here all day. It's well bolstered, not too bolstered. It's not crazy. It's definitely not uncomfortable. And these seats are one of my favorite things. Although I will say, I'm pretty surprised that for $48,000 that they're not perforated. And they gotta be perforated. It gets hot, you know, in the summer here in Utah. We've had over almost 30 days of 100-degree temperatures and perforated leather. 48 grand. Let's do it, Audi. Give me some perforation. And it would be sweet if this had ventilated seats. I mean, I know some people are like, I don't care about ventilated seats. Well, let me tell you what. Once you've had ventilated seats, which we do have in our 2022 Kia Telluride, that is about the same price as this is. That Kia has front and rear ventilated seats, and it's Kia, it's not Audi. So perforated seats would be excellent. Ventilated seats would be even better. But as it stands, the leather feels great. It feels high quality. It has like kind of that classic Audi smell in here, which I've always really liked. My grandma, back when I was just a little boy, always drove Audis, and she had just one of those old Audi, what were they, like I don't even remember what they were called, like the 8000, you know, sedan. And I still remember even to this day how it smelled getting in that car. And some of that is retained here. I don't know what Audi uses to like treat their leather, their materials, but it just smells good in here. And you know, even though the seats aren't ventilated, which I really wish that they were, at least the front ones, I gotta say, the air conditioning in this car is one of the best that I've experienced. I can't even really explain it. Normally, air conditioning struggles in 4-cylinder engine, but in here, it does a fantastic job at cooling down the cabin. Like I said, it's been 100 degrees or more for a long time here in Utah, and I'm in Salt Lake. I'm not even in southern Utah. We're in St. George. The air conditioning gets this thing cooled down very quickly, and that's even with this enormous panoramic sunroof up here. So yeah, I wish the seats were ventilated, but at least you're gonna have some pretty strong air conditioning that cools down very quick. Another thing that I've really enjoyed that is probably gonna be a little controversial is the infotainment. I know a lot of people out there complaining about Volkswagen's infotainment system, and I'll admit, I haven't driven one of the new Golfs or GTIs with the infotainment, but I can't imagine it's that different than this. And sure, while it's maybe not the most intuitive thing, I actually kind of like it. The screen is really responsive. It looks beautiful with this nice 10-inch display, and the colors look good. It's sharp. I've just really liked it. And so yeah, I know that's a little controversial, but if you're using CarPlay, which I imagine most people are, it's wireless in here, I don't think you're really gonna have much to complain about if you're using CarPlay. If you're using the other like standard radio and other features in here, and it might get a little complicated, you might be a little unhappy, and yeah, you got to dig into some of the sub menus to find, you know, different settings and stuff like that. And some of the buttons I'll talk about in just a minute when I show you the interior. But long story short, I don't mind the infotainment. In fact, I think it's pretty good. It's really hot and really bright out here, but let's take a look in the inside of the Q3 and I'll show you around. All right, so coming into the Q3, the door is nice and heavy. It feels great. And here you are greeted by the door, and I love all the trim. I'm leaving it on because it's so hot out here. I love this kind of cool little like hawk beak face handle thing, but I like it. I like the door design. I'll talk more about this in just a second, but this stereo, this extra, I think it was like an extra $2,700, part of a package. It's so worth it. It sounds phenomenal. I love it. So coming into the center area, here's the steering wheel. Now, there's a little something weird about the steering wheel. I didn't honestly love this, and I'm admittedly new to Audis, but I don't know if you can really tell, but it's pretty flat and wide on the side here, but then it's sort of narrow as you face it, which kind of creates like this D shape almost, and it's very firm. So for example, if I'm holding it down here and steering, over time, right there where your thumb is, that pad, my hand actually got a little sore keeping it down there on this steering wheel. And so I don't know that I'm in love with it. I think it looks good. I love the logo. I love this big gaping metal here. It's awesome. The controls are fairly intuitive. You can customize it using this button. Here's your volume. Here's your view, where you can change the digital dash display. And then you can also, let me shut the door. You can go through different menus by using this button to scroll down. Pretty nice. There you go. There's that fuel economy. Incredible. Over the last 1,400 miles, almost 30 miles to the gallon. Tells you what's consuming energy, air conditioning, of course, because it's so hot out here. Traffic signs, driver assistance stuff. There you go. More of that. You can also press this right to left. There's your media, telephone, and that is pretty cool. I've had this on there for a while. So again, you click the view button right there. And there you have it. You can kind of change the view with the gauges. Again, view, get more of your very nice map display. I kind of like to have the gauges a little bit larger, but pretty cool. Digital cluster, I love it. Over here on the left, you have your automatic headlights. You press that. It is a little touch sensitive. You don't even need to press the button all the way. You just put your finger on it even. And you can press it, low beam, side marker lights, off, auto. I just leave it on auto. I do appreciate that the vents in here are a little larger than what you'll see in some modern cars. It definitely helps getting the to get the cabin cooled. Coming down to the center stack, you have that beautiful 10.3-inch color display and lots of different settings in here. Anyway, here's some more. If you press this little top bar on the screen, it'll bring some additional drop-down menus for your sound, user settings, all that stuff. I won't spend time diving into it, but just know that it's better than you're probably expecting. Now, coming down below the screen, you have some nice controls. I like them okay. Again, wishing for ventilated seats here. Driving modes here, if you press drive select, you can go into here. Oh, sorry. Go into here, select the different driving modes: off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, individual. You can also turn off your traction control, your automatic stop start, and you can see there. The only weird thing about this is like the start engine button's cleared on here in like this huge empty space, kind of strange. And even stranger, you have the tracks and you have your volume knob way down here. I mean, you have to really reach to get down there, and it's pretty awkward. It feels so much like an afterthought. It looks like an afterthought. So does the start button. I don't know why they're there. I mean, was there really nowhere else you could put it? I mean, just put the volume knob. I don't know, but if you put it here, it's kind of behind the steering wheel. Over here, it's even further. So I think they kind of backed themselves into a corner in trying to decide where to put the volume. Thank heavens you do have this volume dial on the steering wheel, which is very convenient. Coming into the center here, you have this armrest, very Volkswagen-ish. It raises, it lowers. You can jack it up, extend it. Very nice. It's a small little cubby, nothing too crazy in there. You have your cup holders, which are nice, your parking brake. This cool little cubby you can put the key in, traditional shift. Anyway, nice place to be. I've really enjoyed my time riding in here, especially in these great seats. So coming into the back, if you're wondering how the Audi Q3 fits children, here's our 6-year-old and our 3-year-old. And I think that they fit pretty well. How do you think you fit, Finn?
Good.
Good? Do you have enough room for your legs?
Yes. And me.
You've got some air vents back there.
Mm-hmm.
No heated or ventilated seats. What about you, Mary? Do you have enough room?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, me too. I got a lot of room.
So my wife and I are both 5'9", and so you can see here with child seats that they have just enough room. It's not the most spacious back seat, but Finn and Mary, are you happy back here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy, Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah. And no sunshades, kind of surprisingly. I thought there'd be sunshades back here, but that's okay. Hopefully they can cool off quickly. Okay, thanks guys.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Now, you just saw my kids, how they fit back here, and thank heavens there's rear vents. Now here am I. I am 5'9", sitting behind myself, and there's a decent amount of room. There is like a box, I think it's ventilation down here, that you can't stick your feet way under the seat like you can in some other cars. But regardless, 5'9", me sitting behind myself, I have good 4 inches or so. There's more room back here than you're probably anticipating, which is pretty awesome. You also have that beautiful, huge panoramic sunroof that, again, the AC in here does a great job at keeping it cool. Coming into the rear, you have your automatic lift gate on the hatch, which is very nice. And you also have a decent amount of storage. It's pretty good. I mean, it's plenty of space for grocery runs, Costco runs, strollers, baby stuff. Like, you're gonna be just okay. You've got your spare tire under here, no extra storage under there, but that's okay. And overall, pretty impressive cargo space, especially if you were to fold down those seats. And you can tell here, even just the middle seat you can fold down, which is pretty nice. All right, here it is, and she's a beaut. So the packages that came with this, sport package, tech package, all of it, the S-Line appearance, has this really nice, just black trimmed, more sporty appearance. And it looks very cool. Now this one also has an upgraded 20-inch wheel option. And if I'm being honest, I think that they look really good. And it comes with these Bridgestone Potenza tires, summer tires, right? Dedicated summer tires, which are very cool. The wheels look amazing. I will say that it does make the ride slightly more harsh than I was expecting, but it is comfortable and compliant. nonetheless. But for me, I would probably save the cash and stick with the 19-inch wheels. But as you can tell, this redesign on the Q3 looks pretty sharp. This blue paint, I think, was an extra $595, and I think it looks really good. I apologize for it being dirty here. We've had all sorts of water issues, and it's been so hot in the rain, and anyway, we finally had some rain, but there you go. I love the new exterior. I think it looks very good, and it's compact. It's more roomy than you might think, which is fantastic. Okay, so let me just tell you a couple other things that I did really love. I already mentioned the wireless Apple CarPlay and the stereo, and it is phenomenal. You can optimize it. It puts out fantastic bass. It sounds so good. The wireless Apple CarPlay connects flawlessly every time. I've really been appreciative of that. It's hard to live without. I changed some settings. My video keeps turning off because it's so hot. And so, yeah, I've never had that issue before. But anyway, just to kind of wrap things up with some things that I maybe haven't loved as much about the Q3. Number one thing is the handling. I cannot quite figure it out. It's been really, really interesting to just kind of get, it has like this really weird, these almost unpredictable dead zones. And like, for example, I can like turn it a little, and then it's like, whoa, it just finally decides to bite. It has like this dead zone of like 3-4 inches, and then it's like, I'm turning! And it's a little frustrating. It's kind of unpredictable, to be honest with you. And anyway, let's give this thing a punch. Here we go. Come on! And it's not bad. It's adequate power. You're not going to get, you know, your thrills and your kicks and giggles from this thing, but it's adequate power. There's a little bit of turbo lag. I don't know if you caught that, but like I had mashed my foot down on the throttle, and it takes a second, especially if you're on a little bit of a hill, to really kind of kick into gear. And here, we'll just do a quick mini one again. Here, I'm going to floor it. Okay. It gets some thrust. I mean, it's totally adequate. It's just not, I wouldn't say it's exciting. If you're wanting something exciting, you need to go check out the Q3, or the SQ3, because that'll give you a little more power. Or even, man, I wish I wish that we could get the RSQ3, right? That'd be amazing. But anyway, the handling it really just feel kind of unpredictable to me. There's just these weird dead zones that pop up, and they honestly don't feel like consistent all the time. And so take that for what you will. You can adjust the steering from sport to balance to comfort. I currently have it in balanced. I felt like it felt even more kind of choppy in its steering and handling when I had it in sport. So here it is. I've just left it in balanced, and it does better. It still feels a little strange to me, though. Aside from the handling thing and kind of this weird D-shaped steering wheel, it honestly hurts kind of like the pad of my hand there if I'm steering, you know, down low for an extended period of time. Aside from that, like, the negatives honestly are pretty like nitpicky about this car. Like, I can't find that many faults with it. Is it terribly exciting? No. Is it particularly powerful? No. But it's punchy enough, and the trade-off is you get excellent fuel economy. And you get amazing seats that are very comfortable. Still wish they were perforated. The tech is great. The cameras look great. I think the infotainment is pretty great, honestly. The digital cluster display is very clear. I like all the options and the menu choices that it has. I think the interior looks nice and modern. And I love the ambient lighting, especially behind this Quattro sign. It's so cool. So yeah, I mean, that kind of sums up my experience. And I think for the money, it's a pretty great value. If I was buying a Q3, I would just get this one. I'd get it fully loaded, because I mean, the options aren't that expensive, and I feel like for every option box that you tick, you're getting a pretty great value. The only thing that I'm not in love with is, as far as the options go, is the optional 20-inch wheels. I think that they do look good, but I'm a fan of just a little bit more sidewall to give me more of a cushy ride, because I don't really need this to feel sporty, because it's not that sporty to drive. I'd rather just have some more comfort. And Audi makes great looking wheels anyway, like the 18 or the 19-inch wheels look good. And so yeah, there's a little bit of turbo lag there again, but then it goes. There you have it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that's helped you if you're trying to decide on a Q3. Again, it's had great gas mileage. It's nice to drive. It's great to commute in. I'd imagine this thing with snow tires would be incredible if you're in a snowy climate like we are here in Salt Lake. Well, although how hot it's been, maybe we won't get as much snow this year. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you always for liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that. I'm really trying to grow this. I'm trying to produce good, helpful content, especially for those that are looking to buy. Because I know firsthand, having owned over 25 cars myself, how difficult it can be to make a decision, such a significant financial decision, without really getting to know the car very well. And with me getting these cars for a week, I'm able to live with this thing. I'd commute in it, I'd go do grocery runs in it, I'd take my kids in it, I do everything that you normally would do in driving, right? And so hopefully I can kind of give you more nuanced and more thorough consideration towards any purchases that you might be making here with your wallet and with your with your garage. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please always share, like, subscribe, comment, all of that, and we'll see you on the next drive.